Seems legit.
Hello Legitimates, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing another quick gift option. This is a hangable tea towel. You could also do it as a hand towel for the bathroom. So this is a quick gift in under an hour, on the assumption that you've got some tea towels lying around or you live close enough to a shop to get them and get home quickly. But the actual sewing is pretty quick because you can see the total size of this video. So I've used the plastic press snap, and I love, this is the Inkling and the Kraken's current pre-order. So this is the one without all the bugs in it. This is just the florals. So on this side, I made sure to center the flowers, and on the other side, it's all green. So you can figure out which way you want to go, and I've pleated this into the space. So if you want to see how to do this, let's go. Right. So I've cut out the template. This is from treasury.com. I will put a link in the description for you to go and get this yourself. And I went and bought, I took the fabric with me to see if I could find a color. If you can't find a tea towel color to match, these ones are from Spotlight, but if you can't find one, black is always a safe option, or white. But I'm gonna go with, it's got 3 shades of green. I always like to have these on hand for moments like this anyway, but I usually have like other ones. So you just lay them against it and pick which one you want. I'm gonna go with the dark one, but it's always handy to have these like in a cupboard ready to go, just in case you want to do one of these. So this is what I've got as far as fabric is concerned. So depending on what fabric you're using, you might want to center a design. I really kind of like this, so I'm going to put this here and we're going to trace around it. Now, I'm just using a normal pen. You can use something erasable, depends on what you can see. You could also put weights down and just cut around it with a rotary cutter. Turns out I'm not very good at that, so I'm doing it this way. The inside one won't matter as much. You don't have to fussy cut both sides, just one side. So I'm just following the line that I can see. It takes a minute because it is such a busy print. But again, you could use a chalk pencil or anything else you like. Follow the curve around, up and over. So now, when this folds over, we're going to have the pretty flowers front and center. So we need a second one. Won't quite fit there. So you just want to put it wherever it will fit. I'm going to put it there. And we're going to get some nice greenery on this one. So that one will have flowers, the other one will have greenery. This side will be much easier to see and trace around because it's lighter on the back. Now, if I was using a cotton woven, I would be interfacing this. But because it's canvas, my personal opinion is that it's thick enough as it is. So I'm just going to leave it by itself, but you can judge that on how thick whatever fabric you're using is. I like to twist my stuff around to cut through it. I find it easier. Okay, so there's those bits. So this side's going to be all greenery, and then this side's going to be all floral, so you can kind of sit it however you want. Let's go to the machine. So here's our pieces. Again, I haven't interfaced it because it is a quite thick canvas. But if you're using a lighter canvas, please, please, please go ahead and interface it. I'm going to clip it just so that all these curves kind of stay where they're told. You can also use pins for this project, so if you're normally not a bag sewer, you probably have pins and not these clips. By all means, go ahead, use them instead. This is just what I've got on hand. or near me. I do have pins somewhere. Right, so every edge that I've put a clip on is where I'm going to stitch. So I'm on a 2.5 stitch length. I'm going to do like a 3/8 of an inch seam. I can't remember what the pattern had, but it's kind of irrelevant because we're just stitching these two pieces together. So you could do anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch seam if that's your jam. There's lots of curves, so don't be in too much of a hurry. We don't want to wreck our curves by going too fast. Alright, I went a little bit too fast, so we'll just go back. I'm going to stitch and back stitch just because I had to jump a little bit. My brain sometimes struggles to eyeball 3/8 of an inch. Okay. Zigzag scissors. These are my second most used scissors in this room. They are awesome. They are probably close to needing another sharpen, although they're not too bad actually. Lots of people, I actually went and I went on YouTube myself and typed in how to sharpen scissors, and we got a lot of very convoluted technical stuff which I didn't totally understand, and you needed like a lot of fancy equipment. So what I ended up doing was getting one of those knife sharpener bars that you have in your kitchen, and you just run it back and forth along here on this edge. We don't worry about the zigzaggy bits, they're irrelevant, but that was my big secret to that. Now I think I'm going to attempt to make this much easier on myself. This is just because I'm a bag maker that I'm about to do this, but instead of trying to iron both sides perfectly in line and then shove stuff in, I'm going to use double-sided tape and draw a line. So you just need a ruler. And you should probably use erasable pen, although if you've got a dark fabric like this, just a normal pen would also work. And so now I'm just going to draw a line 1/2 inch up. Maybe not, because that's not drawing anything. Pretty sure this is brand new. I'm not sure why that's not drawing, but anyway. Trusty old normal pen. So I'm going to draw 1/2 inch, flip it over. I'm going to do the same to both sides. So we just need a little bit of stuff tucked under. So I'm going to take my 1/4 inch tape and put it just below the line, like that. And then same on this side, just below the line but touching it. The other alternative is you can put it along the raw edge, either or. Now let's turn it through. Another really good thing I use a lot of is a turning stick, because that's going to push that all the way out and make it pretty. Now if you wanted this padded, you could actually put fleece in here if that was more the look you were going for, to have it all super fluffed up. It's not my thing, but it might be yours. Right, beautiful. So now I'm going to come in here, and again, you could do this as an ironing option if you don't have double-sided tape in your house already. Although if you follow my channel, there's a very good chance you do. Pull the backing off one side, and then I'm just going to, and I'm going to do it this way so you can see, I'm going to fold the raw edge up to the line that I drew. Like that. Now again, you could do this same principle but iron it. The line's just a guide so that you get it even all the way around. And then I'm going to do the same to the other side. So we're going to pick off the backing, maybe, if it wants to stick. Come on, you know you want to. Sometimes one end doesn't want to come off and you have to go do the other end. It's just one of those things. In which case, your soul is also your friend. So I'm going to pull that off. And then again, fold it up to the line. And this should make a beautiful, even, straight edge along the bottom. The corners might get a bit dodgy, but that's just because there's extra fabric there. Ah, I'm starting to take shape. So I've got flowers on that side and like an all green option that side. Here is my tea towel. So I have unfolded it from whatever it's got going on and I've just folded it in half, and you kind of want to make sure it's properly in half, not just roughly. Like, we want to be a little bit special about this. To do that and make sure it stays in half, you can actually add some clips along that open edge. Now, I've seen people do this a couple of ways. One is where I'm putting the clips is actually what they stuff up in the side, so that the bottom is just a loop and not two separate pieces. So you could do that. Obviously, I'm going to do it the way I like, which is we're going to put this half in. So this is the total size. So you've got options. We can just fold it over like this, and then over like this, and just shove it up in, and it'll be like this fold over thing. But I don't really like that either. So I'm going to basically hand pleat it. Nothing spectacular. You can also add a clip to each of these pleats. Oops, missed. Alright, but again, this is not really getting us very far either. So let's try and get it perfectly even. I'm going to find the center. I mean, the other option is you can actually just gather this whole top, but I don't want it too stuffy if I can help it. So there's the center. There's the center of that. So, wait. Find the center, find the center. I've just had an idea. Then, there's the center, so I'm going to bring that to here, add it into the clip, center, bring that to the clip, and then bring that to the clip. So we're going to have really big kind of doubly pleat things going on. That should then fit just nicely. So in half, put a center. In half again, bring that under. Actually, bring it over. Bring it over. And then in half, we're going to go under and over. And now I've got 3 pleats. And hopefully that's skinny enough to fit. Or at least get close. It's going to get close. Yay! So I want it kind of flatter, so I'm doing pleats, but gathering also works. I do know a lot of people that just do the gathering. So I want to make sure that that is tucked up in there. I'm going to put that edge. Actually, maybe we'll just stitch it. Stitch the pleats in place right at the edge, just so it won't move. I feel like this might be easier if it's not trying to move around. I'm not even going to bother about back stitching. It's just to hold it mostly in place. So, tuck it up and in. Might even fold that underneath that little edge like that. You want to make sure it's going to cover both sides. So that's now actually quite cute with the pleats. You just want to make sure you've got enough up inside. Now I'm going to start right here and I'm going to stitch 1/8 of an inch from this edge. Tuck it under, tuck it up, push down. So we're going to stitch, back stitch. And then over that edge we go, making sure that you've got enough fabric up inside. I'm going to back stitch, but then I can take all these clips off now. I'm going to top stitch around the entire edge. Now before I get too close or go anywhere, I need to dig out this corner to make it super pointy. I don't want it curved. If I wanted it curved, I would have sewn it curved. So up we go. This will make it prettier. I love top stitching. It's also good practice. Now I'm top stitching this backwards to the way I normally would. I just can't really help it. Now while the needle's down, I'm just going to make sure that this corner is nice and crisp as well. As crisp as I can get it anyway. And then needle down, pivot downwards, stitch, back stitch. Oh, this is pretty. I also want to get rid of those tails. There's like a big loop here. You can either try and pull it out, and if it doesn't want to come out, just cut it off. Because if it's not going to come out, it's not going to matter that I'm trimming it. Is usually my theory, and it works. A little bit of tails. Excellent. So we're nearly done. Again, I've left this nice and light. We just need to have the little press. So we can have it go backwards this way, or we can have it go forwards. It depends on which side you want showing. Actually, I think I want to go this way because that's really pretty there with the flowers. So let's get the press and the snaps. Okay, so I'm using plastic snaps. I have a lot of them for a completely unrelated project, but this feels like a good time to use them up. So I have many shades of green, as you can see. I have about 5 containers like this of all the different colors and stuff. Sometimes they get a bit muddled up, but generally speaking, they're pretty good. So, the first thing I want to do is figure out what color I want. I don't think I like that one. I just pull out like the one bit. I don't think fluoro is my jam. I think I'm going to go with the dark green rather than the other ones. So we need 2 of the spiky bits, and then 1 male and 1 female. So it's much like the metal ones, except that they're plastic. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to fold this over to where I want it. Make sure that it's lined up even and straight when you fold it. You don't want to kind of do this. This is not what we want. We want to get it nice and straight and even. And you want a big enough loop to be able to put it over whatever it is that you're going to do it to. I'm sure there's an official amount. I don't know it. I'm going to probably eyeball it. So we want the pole close to this end, like that. And then when we fold it over, I kind of want it, I want the press stud part in line with these points. That's how I'm going to do it. Now again, each to their own, but that's how I want it. So I'm going to use my first hole as the guide for the next one, like that. And I always, just by looking at these ends, I always get confused which one's which. The little hole is for the big end and the big hole is for the little end. So the best way to do that is I take these and I just push them into the ends so that they've picked them up, because that's what I find easiest. So I'm going to take one of these, and this end I want the female, so that's this one. Now if you're batch doing these, you obviously do all of this end and then all of the other, but this is just a one-timer. Press stud it down. So the point of these ones, if you've never seen these plastic ones before, what's going to happen is, see that little spike? We squish the spike to hold it inside. So, sorry, because of this, oh, my spit went right down the wrong hole. You want to make sure it's really squished flat, otherwise they won't clip together. You want to put like a decently firm amount of pressure. So then I'm going to put this one this way. So they're both going to have the spikes on the same one so that we can push it together. Screw that in. Set it under. And then squish it down. And then you want to check to make sure it presses together, because if it doesn't, if it won't go together, you just need to squish the snap tab a little bit more. So you just put it under and then squish down some more. It'll just help to squish down that plastic bit to make it flat enough to make them go together. And that's it. That's a really quick gift. You just need to obviously have some tea towels on hand, but that's not really hard to do. If you've got generic colors, if you got like black, white, cream, and just had a stash of them, they would go for everybody and everything. You could embroider their name or heat press their name or write a cute slogan or whatever. But I just think that that's a fun, quick gift, and it looks amazing. So you can have it this way forward and you get all the pretty flowers, or you flip it and then you get all the greenery options. So there you go, guys. That's my quick little project for today. See you later.